Do you want to create a healthy relationship with technology in your family? I think that's probably something that we all want here, right? So stay tuned and we will talk a little bit about what that looks like, what that balance looks like for a good tech balance in your home, and also kind of what it looks like when you don't have a good balance. So hi guys, it's been a while. It's been what, like 6 weeks since I've been here. So I hope you all are doing well. It feels like it's been a really long time. I hope you're having a good day. I'm very tired right now. Pregnancy is killing me this time, you guys. I'm like not sleeping well and getting cranky with my family, and it makes me very sad. But yeah, so if you have any tips for like being friendlier with your family when you're exhausted, I'd love to hear those. But please say hi as you hop on. I'd love to know when you're watching. If you're watching on the replay, just drop me like a hashtag replay so I know you're there. You replay viewers are just as important as the live viewers. So I want to just dive into this content today. You know, I like to keep these videos pretty short so that you guys don't have to spend a ton of time going through them. So I have been reading a book called The TechWise Family by, I think his name is Andy Crouch, somebody Crouch. If you've heard of that, let me know. Just drop like a TechWise in the comments. If you haven't, I'm actually going to give you a link here to where you can get the book on Amazon. This is, that's in the comments now. This is an affiliate link. So it helps me out if you guys use my affiliate links. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but then it helps me to make a little bit of money if you use my Amazon links as kind of like, you can think of it as kind of like paying me for the work I do here, I guess, without actually having it cost you anything extra. But this is a really good book for finding that balance with technology in your family. So I definitely recommend taking a look at that if this is something that you are looking for in your family. Okay, so there's a section I think this is from the introduction of the book, where he talks about what it looks like when technology is in its proper place, and conversely, what it looks like when it's not in its proper place. So that's going to give you a really good idea of what balance looks like. So I just want to go through these with you guys quickly to give you an idea of what to look for to make sure that you have balance. Because when we say balance, it's kind of vague, right? Like, what does balance actually mean? So let's talk about some specifics here. And let me know as you're watching what you guys think of these. So first one, technology is in its proper place when it helps us bond with the real people we've been given to love. How many times do we get distracted by technology and not pay attention to the people around us? But if it's helping us to actually connect with those other people, like, you know, sending a text message to your husband when he's at work, or, you know, keeping up with the people from your past that you love, like through social media, then that is a way that technology can be in its proper place. It's out of its proper place, or it's imbalanced when we end up bonding with people that like we'll never meet or never have a real relationship with, like celebrities or something like that. Like if you have a really tight relationship, whatever, following some celebrity, like, you know, all about that person's family and everything from their Instagram, that's probably not really using technology in its most helpful way for you. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, technology is in its proper place when it starts great conversations. So say you read something interesting online, like my husband and I will do this. We'll read interesting articles and then we'll talk about them. And I think that's a great way of generating like healthier relationships with the people in our families, the people that we love. But when we are instead using technology to pull us away from those real life conversations, so like when it prevents us from talking with and listening to one another, then that is an indication that technology is out of balance in your family. Like if you spend 2 hours at night scrolling your phone instead of having a real conversation with your spouse or your kids or whatever, then that's a good sign that tech is not in its right place in your home. Okay, so number two. Number three is technology is in its proper place when it helps us to acquire a new skill or mastery of a new skill, such as something in sports, music, art, cooking, writing, accounting, whatever thing sounds great for you and your interests. If you're using technology to help you develop that skill, then that's awesome. That is a great way to use technology. But when we let technology replace developing that skill, so like we're sitting there like watching cooking videos, but never actually engaging in cooking ourselves, like taking the time to put into practice what we've learned from the videos, then technology is not in its proper place. So it should, like, what this keeps coming back to is that technology should be improving our interactions with the real world and not taking us away from the real world. Okay. So it can help us to develop good skills rather than just sitting around passively consuming what we see on YouTube or whatever. Okay, I think that was number 4. I'm losing count here. Okay, so the next one is, I love this one. Technology is in its proper place when it helps us cultivate awe for the world that we are a part of. When we can watch a video about like something awesome in nature, something so cool that God has created, and it helps us to develop that greater appreciation for the world around us, then that is a good use of technology. That is, having balance with technology. But if it is preventing us from interacting with nature and the real world, then, like kids aren't going outside and playing. They're playing their video games or whatever. Or we're not, like taking walks in the woods with our family or whatever that looks like for your family. If tech is keeping you from doing that, then that would show that your technology is out of balance. It's not in its proper place. So good appreciation for nature, where you're actually starting to engage with nature. And then finally, the last one here is that word just left me. We can have a pretty good idea that technology is in the right place in our family, in our home, if we are using it intentionally and carefully. So it's not the kind of thing where you're going to make some like guidelines and decisions about technology, and then it's just going to kind of go on autopilot and always be perfect and calm and perfectly balanced and just what you want it to be. Technology is one of those things that, like, if you aren't constantly watching and being intentional and making smart choices every single day, then it's going to start to take over. And honestly, like, this is something that I start to notice with myself, like, especially right now. Well, I'm pregnant and exhausted and like just don't even want to think about anything. I find myself spending way too much time just passively scrolling because I'm tired and I don't feel like doing anything else. And that is technology starting to take over rather than me being the master and having control of my technology myself. It's like your house. Like if you clean the living room, you don't expect the living room to always stay clean, right? You expect to have to do some upkeep. You expect to have to be revisiting that and continuing to clean up to keep things tidy. So it's very similar with your technology. And that is how you keep technology in its proper place and keep it balanced within your family. So I'd love to know what you think of these ideas, whether you feel like technology is pretty well balanced in your home or whether you feel like you have a long way to go. In some ways in our home, I feel like we're doing really well. And then in other ways, I'm like, oh man, we have so much to do. But just remember, like, it should be encouraging our interaction with the real world rather than taking us away from the real world. So relationships, conversations, learning new skills, appreciating nature, and then just being intentional and careful about what we do with technology. So again, I did leave you that link in the comments if you're interested in checking out the book. That is the TechWise Family. And I think it's a really great resource for anyone who wants to create a better relationship with technology in their own homes. So please leave comments or questions if there's anything that you think of related to this topic. I would love to know. And I will talk to you all again next week. I hope you have a great week. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.